You know that feeling? You're constantly chasing happiness, but it seems like the more you chase it, the more stressed out you get. It's like a trap, right? Well, today, we're going to break down that exact happiness trap. We'll explore why this chase so often backfires and uncover a really practical framework for finding a more stable, lasting sense of peace. So let's dive in. So let's just start right there with the big question. Why is it that the harder we chase happiness, through that new job, that perfect relationship, or the next big thing we buy, the more anxious we often become? It's a super frustrating cycle, isn't it? And it's the exact problem we're going to unpack together. Here's a powerful way to think about it. Imagine you're a confused customer and you're just desperately trying to dial a happiness helpline. You keep calling, but the line is always busy. That's exactly what it feels like when we search for fulfillment in all the wrong places. It's a call that's just never gonna connect. So why can't that helpline connect? Well, it's simple. We're dialing the wrong number. When we seek happiness from things outside of us, a partner, a promotion, a bigger house, we create this deep sense of incompleteness. Because here's the thing, those things are by their very nature impermanent, and a reliance on them creates this constant underlying fear and anxiety about when, not if, they will change or disappear. This deep-seated feeling of dissatisfaction, it actually has a name. In Eastern wisdom traditions, it's called dukkha. And understanding this concept is the first real step towards solving the problem instead of just chasing the symptoms. So what is dukkha, really? It's more than just sadness. It's that specific inner turmoil, that fear, that anxiety, that constant feeling that something is missing. It's the friction we feel when our desire for permanence clashes with the reality of an ever-changing world. To make this even clearer, dukkha kind of comes in three main flavors. First, there's the obvious kind, physical and emotional pain. Second, there's the anxiety over the future, all the what ifs. What if I lose my job? What if this relationship doesn't work out? And third, there's that subtle but constant dissatisfaction, that feeling that even when things are good, they're not quite good enough. Sound familiar? Okay, so we've put a name to the feeling, dukkha, but how do we work with it? This is where we shift from diagnosis to a practical plan. We're going to explore the PRACT framework, which is basically a step-by-step guide to move from that frantic external chase to a more stable internal peace. The framework is pretty simple. P is for preparing your mind each day. R is for reflecting on your reactions. A is for applying wisdom tools. C is for contemplating with truth. And T is for transforming your life through consistent practice. See? Each step just builds on the last one. So what's the ultimate goal of this PRACT framework? It's not about fighting your mind or forcing yourself to be happy. It's about gently activating what's called your wisdom intellect, that part of you that can see things as they really are, beyond the mind's illusions. Here's a perfect way to picture how it works. Imagine your mind is wandering in the desert, and it sees what it thinks is water. That's the promotion or relationship you believe will finally make you happy. But your wisdom intellect gently taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, that's just a mirage. It doesn't use force, it simply reveals the truth. And your frantic running stops, all on its own. So, how do we activate this wisdom? Well, this brings us back to the CNR framework, contemplate. It's done through a practice called satsang, which literally just means associating with what is real. In practice, this could mean reading timeless philosophy, listening to teachings that resonate with you, or spending time in nature. Anything that connects you to a deeper truth beyond the day-to-day noise. Okay, so how do we bring this from concept to reality? The key to transformation isn't some massive, one-time overhaul. It's about building small, consistent daily habits. In fact, the entire journey begins with just one single conscious choice, repeated daily. We often think we need to change everything at once, but the real power lies in starting small. You don't need to do everything. You just need to choose one thing to start with. So what could that one thing be? Here are a few simple, powerful options to get started. You could begin your day by saying the phrase, "May there be happiness for all," just once. You could consciously decide to let go of one mental attachment for the day, or before bed, reflect on one moment of anxiety and what triggered it. You could even just decide to smile intentionally a few times. The key is to just choose one. And that leaves us with a final question to take with you. Looking at your own life, right now, what is the water you see in the distance? What is that one thing you believe will finally deliver lasting happiness? Recognizing your own mirage is the first, most powerful step toward finding real peace.